Right now, we have a quilt to make, so let's get started. So the first thing I need to do is cut some 5-inch squares so I can make my disappearing 9 patch. And I have 8 layers of fabric. I'm going to cut across a 5-inch strip, and I will get 4 blocks from each strip. So that'll be 4 times 8 is 32, and I only need 18 blocks, so that will give me plenty to work with. So I'm using my 60 millimeter blade because then I can cut through the thicker layers of fabric. And I have my 5-inch strip cut. Now I'm going to cross cut it into 5-inch squares. And remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count twice and cut once, because otherwise you'll get mistakes and you'll be going back and you'll be cutting over something that you've already done and maybe waste some fabric. So just always double check and make sure that you're getting the right size. And I always just kind of eyeball it as well as count it. And you know, this is when it's okay to count with your fingers. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then we have this wonderful little piece on the end that we can use for something else. Whoops, did I not get that? This is perfect for some scrap quilting and, you know, creating little strips, maybe for a rail fence or small postage stamp blocks. Okay, so we are not going to lose that. That has some purpose that we can definitely utilize. Now, let's get this laid out into our blocks. With a disappearing 9 patch, basically we just need 9 blocks laid out in a 3x3 pattern. And I'm just going to play with this a little bit and see how I want this to work. And I am going to go like this and put that little gray guy in the middle, I think. All right, I think that'll work out well. And then I'm going to go to my next block, and I will just start with that. Now I'm going to do a second block, and I think with this one, I'm going to put the dark gray in the middle. With 2 layers, I have a layout for 2 different disappearing 9 patch blocks. And what I'm going to do is chain piece them. So I'll take this top piece and this one, and I'm going to sew them down with a 1/4-inch seam from the top to the bottom, join to the next one without cutting my thread, and do the same here. And then I'll add the third, and I'll have my 9 patch. We'll get it pressed and finished, come back and do the same. So let me show you how easy this is to do. And now for the fun to begin. We're going to start putting our blocks together. I have my first 2 5-inch squares from the top of my 9 patch ready to go. I'm going to line up those corners so they'll sew nice and straight. With a 1/4-inch seam, go right down the side. Going to do the same with the next 2. So I line my bottom up here and line the top, and then I sew through. Notice though, I'm not cutting my thread. That's what we call chain stitching. And I'm going to do it one more time with the 3rd row. And you see how easy this is. This makes putting your block together much quicker. And of course, a 9 patch is 3 rows by 3 blocks. And now I'm going to go back to the top and add my 3rd block to that top row and do the same all the way through. And see how quick that was? So now I have my 3 rows all sewn together. And now all I need to do is sew these 2 cross seams to join my block into a 9 patch. Now, it's really important to press this. I am going to finger press right now simply because I'm at the machine and it'll make it easier and quicker to finger press. Now, you can do this, but you want to make sure you press it really well. And what I'm doing is this top is going to be pressed outward and the center will be pressed towards the middle. And you want to do that the same on all of your blocks in order to have nice nesting seams. And that means we want our seams to align nice and even where they join. So what I'm going to do is just trim the chain stitching there and show you how the nesting works. So I have a seam on top and a seam on the bottom, and when I open this, I want those seams to line up right next to each other so you can see those 4 come together in the corner perfectly. And by having this seam allowance going that way and the bottom seam allowance coming this way, that's going to allow it to lay nice and flat and snug. So I've got that one in place. And again, this to the outside, this to the inside, and I want to make sure that those are lined up nicely. See how well those are aligned? And a lot of times, if you use your thumb and finger, you can tell that they're in the right spot. Because if you can either feel a space between those seams or a thick area where they may be on top of each other, you'll know you need to take a look and ensure that everything's right where it needs to be. All right, I just repeat those same steps on the next one. And I always like to put the one I just sewed on top. That way I make sure I get my seams going in the right direction, especially when I finger press, because it's very easy to get turned around and have those seam allowances going the wrong way, and I certainly don't want to do that. And let me just make sure this is in place. There we go. Whoops. And I'm just going to sew this up real quick, get it pressed, and then we're ready for the next step. Check out this beautiful 9 patch. Those colors are fantastic. It's pressed nice and flat, so when I cut and then sew, the seams will be beautiful. Everything will lay well. And look, I just think that's fantastic. There's such nice contrast between all these fabrics. Now, it's a disappearing 9 patch, so we have to cut this. And there's so many different ways you can do it. But we're doing something special. And the first tip is we're going to need an extra background. Now, I could use one of the fabrics that we already have in here, but I want something that'll contrast more. And I have just the idea. Last month's Mrs. Quilty box had some extra fabrics in there that would actually match this beautifully. And I haven't used them yet, so I'm going to bring it into this. So check out these 2 pieces as a background. So it's white and bright, so it'll contrast. It has a bit of the green. This is almost a tealy green. It's almost the same as that. And it has the salmon color. And this has this brighter green, but it has the gold and yellows. Look at that. It's going to be fantastic. So what you need is 4 squares for each 9 patch. We have 9 5-inch blocks sewn together. Now we're going to add 4, and they need to be 7 1/4 inches. So out of each of these, I measured my 7 1/4, and I have 4 of them cut. And this is the first block, and then the second block will be out of this fabric. One more step, and here's a tip. This might give away the secret. We need diagonal lines. Yes, we're going for some triangles here. So cut your diagonals, or excuse me, draw your diagonals. Then we'll sew, and then we'll cut. And wait till you see what this is. Oh my gosh, they are beautiful. With our 9 patch on the bottom, we're going to take one of our 7 1/4 inch squares and place it right in the upper corner. We want to align this corner, and we want to align this side here, as well as this side. So the square is exactly in the square of the 9 patch. So we don't want anything hanging out on either side. And what we're going to do is sew a 1/4 inch seam down each side of this line that we drew. And so I'm going to align myself so I'm right in the correct spot. And there we go. So I'm just going to follow the line most of the way, but then I'm going to stop and I'll show you what we do there. When we begin to approach the center, we want to get our second block in place. And we're going to align this in the same manner, but in the opposite corner. So we'll put this one right here. Make sure it aligns up the side on this one and on this side, and then just sort of let it fall into place. And these lines should line up pretty darn close. And what you want to do, whoops, I see I've got mine twisted a little bit. See how it's hanging off on this side? Bring it up, and then that'll bring it right in line. And then what we're going to do when we get here is lift this fabric on top. So as we're sewing, we don't have to worry about the fabric flipping underneath the presser foot. If you find it easier, go ahead and put a pin in as you're sewing. And then once I get through, I make sure my corners are in the right place and continue to the right. All right, we've done one side. We're going to turn it around and go back the other way. Now when you get to this point, do be careful because this may want to flip on you, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll hold it down with my seam ripper or stiletto. I don't want to stick my finger in there and take a chance of getting it caught under the needle. I get it right up, and once I've caught that edge, I know I can continue sewing. And there we are. That was simple. Now, the important thing at this point is we want to press this. Do you see how we have little ripples along the way? The fabric gets a bit wavy. We're sewing on the diagonal, on the bias, and that's going to make the fabric stretch a little bit. So we want to flatten everything down nicely. If you press it from this side, those little wrinkles may make creases. So what I do is I turn it over and I press it on this side. And I only go in line with the grain of the fabric. Don't press this direction because then you're going to stretch on that bias. So press it this way and press it this way, and then we're going to go to our next step. You see how after pressing it looks so much flatter, and we're going to get a much better block this way, far more accurate because the fabric is right where it needs to be. Now we're going to cut along this line. You can certainly use your rotary cutter, but because I'm at my sewing machine, using a pair of scissors works perfect for me. And I'm just going to I'm just going to cut from one corner to the other. Now at this point, we are going to take each half of our triangle and press it this way. And we want to press it away from our large triangle. So the two small ones will go away from the farther with the seam allowance going in that direction. And you see how we're creating this really fun patchwork block here? I think it's going to be wonderful. Do you see where we're going yet? This is quite the surprise. I'm so excited to get this block finished and see what it looks like. All right, with our triangle pressed with the small triangles on the other side, we're going to bring in another square with a diagonal line and line this one up. Now we want to start in the corner, just like we did before. Make sure that everything lines up well. So put those corner to corner and hold on to it. and we're going to let it go all the way up here, but you want to make sure that each side lines up with the side of the block. There we go. So that's on that side. And then the best part is, you see how that line goes right in the center? Right in the center of this opening where these two blocks meet? This is your 1/4 inch seam, and this is your 1/4 inch seam. So it lines up beautifully. So as you sew this, you're going to go right down the 1/4 inch, and then we'll go ahead and finish from there. But I like that that little spot kind of reaffirms and lets you know you're in the right place. So all the way to the end and turn around. Going to come back the other direction. And there it is. Okay, so we're going to cut our threads. Now, what we're going to do is cut this from end to end, which I have a pressed one. But again, we want to press this. See how that fabric sort of waves? So we'll press that from the back, and it looks nice and flat, and we can cut our diagonal. So we're going to cut right across here. And look at what we have. Look at that beautiful flying geese block. Oh my goodness, that is going to be wonderful. And just think of these all placed together, and whoop, there we are. And all those different prints mixing up. It's going to be beautiful. I can't wait to show you how this will look. And here's our finished flying geese. It's nice and pressed. We just want to trim off these little dog ears in the corners. And because of the way we made this block, using one square for the background, everything should lay nice and flat and even. All right, that one, my seam went in and I need it to go out because that's just going to make it all sew together better. And let me get this one. And so you see, once those are all trimmed and you put these on top of each other, they lay together perfectly. They're the same size. So we don't have to worry about trimming the block itself, just the little dog ears. And then what we're going to do once we get this trimmed is sew them together into a block like this. Look at those beautiful flying geese. They look like we spent so much time piecing those and making triangles. Oh my goodness, we know the secret. This is simple. Let me finish the rest of them and show you what it looks like. And here it is. I love this little block. It is wonderful. Now all you have to do is make more for a larger quilt. This measures about 24 inches with the 4 squares, and that works out great to make a tabletop, something just to put over the back of a chair or sofa, a side table, something like that. But if you want to go full on and make a quilt or even a table runner, you could run these end to end from one side, put one here and one there. How fun would that be? This is just a really wonderful way to make a disappearing 9-patch. It's easy and it's different. I love doing something that not everybody else is going to have, and it is such fun. Oh my goodness, it's scrappy. I love it. We're going to have a great time with this. Thank you all for being here. This has been such fun to share with you. I really enjoyed making this block, and I can't wait to make more. It's an awesome quilt block that'll make a beautiful finished quilt. And I love that it's scrappy. Oh my gosh, we can do so much with this. But I appreciate you following along, and I hope you enjoyed this fabric from Mrs. Quilty. Make sure you get your 20% off discount. The link is right below. and be sure to enter to win the free first box of your subscription. Oh my gosh, that'll be so awesome. Get 4 yards of fabric shipped right to you. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it's a pleasure to share my quilting with you. Thanks so much.